And back to our top story, Randy Smith is no longer the St. Tammany sheriff.
No, he pleaded guilty to second-degree battery today. While crime is down in St. Tammany, Smith's legacy in office is not without controversy.
There's a new sheriff in town.
In 2016, Randy Smith celebrated his win as the first new St. Tammany sheriff in 2 decades. Smith served as a popular police chief in Slidell from 2010 to 2016, and investigations into his predecessor, Jack Strain, bolstered his successful campaign.
Professionalism and accountability is what I stand for.
Smith shepherded the sheriff's office through the deaths of deputies, high-profile murders, and in 2025, data show a drop in crime with clearance rates that exceed the national average. But controversies surrounding Smith began with his 2019 re-election campaign and some high-profile terminations that deputies say violated their rights. Smith allegedly fired a reserve deputy for sharing a Facebook post supporting his opponent in the race.
So what's the reason for dismissal?
Well, it's just the sheriff has decided that, he doesn't need you here anymore.
I said, this doesn't have, or does this have anything to do with my recent Facebook activity? And he said, not necessarily.
Smith also abruptly fired highly regarded Deputy Brandon Stevens over an off-duty encounter with a well-connected woman in his neighborhood.
He was very out of line, and I made the decision based on the internal affairs investigation to terminate him.
And he axed former Deputy Chief Fred Oswald, who unsuccessfully filed a whistleblower lawsuit against Smith after his termination. Yet Smith allowed former Deputy Ricky Steinert to resign, who WWL-TV and the Times-Picayune exposed for duplicating DWI reports.
I immediately opened up an internal affairs investigation. Once Deputy Steinert was notified, he came in and resigned the next day.
One of the most high-profile cases Smith handled during his time as sheriff was the murder of a Lacombe fire chief's wife, Nanette Krentel. Our series Mystery in Ashes exposed big problems with how the investigation was handled.
And as soon as we pulled up, I pulled Kim aside. I said, this ain't right. This hasn't even, nobody's even investigated this.
Smith later arrested a federal agent on an unconstitutional criminal defamation charge and booked him into jail because he criticized how the SDPSO handled Krentel's case in emails to her family. Those charges were dropped, but it left a stain on Smith's tenure that now ended in criminal charges of his own. This photograph from the Slidell Police Department Facebook page shows Smith flanked by former Sheriff Strain, who's serving a life sentence in prison, and former St. Tammany DA Walter Reed, who also served time in prison on corruption charges. 3 top law enforcers in St. Tammany Parish whose time in office ended with them booked into jail. The former St. Tammany coroner, Peter Galvin, also ended up in federal prison as well. So this is yet another black eye for the elected officials in that parish.